Hello everyone, Overcord95, The Wandering Knight here, and welcome to my questions and answers video. Today I'm going to answer questions sent by you on my video from last Sunday. And I got quite a bit of responses from it, and I'm happy to have gotten that so I can actually answer your guys and make a fun video with this. So, without further ado, let's jump right into it. Alright, first we have Kyle Stevens, and Kyle Stevens asked actually two questions. The first question is, what got me into gaming? To answer that is a little bit of a longer story. But basically what got me into gaming is all the people around me. When I was younger, we went to the daycare, child care center that I went to, had an old computer sitting there. At the time, it wasn't that old of a computer, but they had an old computer sitting there. And on there, it had Snake and a couple other little games. But the main thing on that was Snake. I remember sitting there, and I would go back and forth with this older kid, and we would be trying to beat each other's high score. That's part of it. At home, my dad, when we got the computer for at the house, I can remember. It might have been there when I was younger, but when I can remember the computer, my dad had computer games on it. He had Duke Nukem, he had Doom, he's had Myst and stuff like that. He had all kinds of different games on there. I didn't play any of those, but I did remember sitting there watching him play a couple of them. I can remember the image from Duke Nukem where like he busts through the bathroom and you see an alien sitting on the toilet. Like I remember that, and then he got me actually a couple games. I had a little helicopter shooting game that I remember playing for forever and a day. So, and then like people had Game Boys and stuff like that. So that kind of got me into gaming and interested in games in general. I eventually got my own Game Boy and got my own games and stuff like that. And I got more for the computer, and then I had a younger brother, so we had even more games. So it was a natural progression of the area around me, and the people around me were playing something, and I wanted to be a part of that. So that's kind of what got me into gaming, and I just kind of built on that more and more. Like I said, now like I'm actually a bit of a vintage video game collector because I want to know what that older stuff was and like play it and interact with it and stuff like that. But that's what got me into gaming. And then he asked kind of just a technical question is what headset do I use? I actually use two different headsets. I use the one here that I'm on with PC, and then I have another one that I use with PlayStation 4. The one I use with PC is actually a Turtle Beach PX2100 from the PlayStation 3 that I have. I pulled it and it can use the same, I actually used it for the PlayStation 4 for a bit too, but when I started having to take it back and forth between PC and PlayStation, I just decided to buy another headset, which is the one I'm using currently with my PlayStation. It's a Triton. I don't know if it actually has but it's actually like a third-party one that I just plug in. It's not a bad little headset, and it was like $30 or something compared to Turtle Beach ones can be like $60, $80, $100. A $30 headset that works, not bad. So that's Kyle Stevens' questions. Now on to Josh Vlogs P-Molar. I have no idea if I'm pronouncing that last name right. You will be able to see the name up in a second. But he asks two questions as well. He asks, what's your favorite Pokemon game? My favorite Pokemon game is probably the first one I had, which was Pokemon Gold. I think my dad had a copy of Pokemon Yellow that I played for a bit, but my one was Pokemon Gold. And the main thing is because in a sense to I loved getting immersed into that story at the time. I was watching Pokemon, I was playing the card game, I was getting the toys, and then to actually be able to go and catch my own Pokemon, even if it was a game, you're playing as a character in the game, it was amazing to me to be able to have my own starter, battle and train it up, get more Pokemon. That's probably my personal favorite Pokemon game, no matter what. Like, they can put in new stuff all the time, but that one to me is like my best one. And then he asks, what's my favorite anime? I have a couple of them that I enjoy, mostly because I'm actually more of a manga reader than an anime watcher. I watch anime, but I more prefer to read the manga in most cases. I've always been and always will be a big fan of Naruto. That was just a huge part of my growing up. I went from being, a kid in grade school reading Naruto from a friend showing me one of the mangas once and just picking it up and not stopping to watching the anime to, doing all this stuff, watching and reading of it till the very end. I haven't gotten into Boruto yet, which I know is a follow-up question kind of idea to that but I am planning to, but it was just Naruto was like such a big thing. I also enjoy stuff like Soul Eater. I enjoyed Bleach, specifically the manga, more than the anime after a point, but I think that's everybody's answer. Sword Art Online I do enjoy just because I like the idea of the VR game. Um, more than anything else. I do like the characters in there, but my favorite thing is the technology that they've basically envisioned in that world. I haven't ever watched Attack on Titan, but I need to. But yeah, there's a lot of anime that I enjoy, so giving a full list of it would take a while, and even more so if I went to the manga side of it. And then we have down here we have Eric Cole, and he asks which game and which console has made the biggest impact on your life. That's a big question because the console one I can kind of answer a bit better than I can the game because I'm constantly playing games. But the console is probably the PlayStation 2 because that was the first home console I owned, and even then I owned it with it was a Christmas gift to me and my brother. So that was the one that I started developing where I had multiple games. Yeah, I had the Game Boy, but I didn't have as much with it as I did with the PlayStation 2. When you got to the PlayStation 2 and you had that library of games that you could have access to. Game Boy had a good library, but when you look at the PlayStation 2's library, it is an insane amount of games for a kid to be able to get access to. And I'm not even thinking about the M-rated games that I never even got with PlayStation 2. Just anything that I wanted to play, there was always some kind of game there for PlayStation 2. You know, whether it was a fantasy RPG or a first-person shooter or just some fun, silly game that me and my brother wanted to play, or a sports game, or anything. So PlayStation 2 is definitely the console that got me to where I am today, where I'm constantly buying new games and getting new consoles and wanting to play more and more. Definitely PlayStation 2. Also, I can remember sitting in my bedroom playing sports games with my dad and playing fighting games with my brother and just having some of the best times of our lives with that. Now, for which game, that's a little harder because there's a lot of them that I really do enjoy. I love the Uncharted series. I think that brought my love of Indiana Jones into the forefront for a while because I love the idea of adventure and finding hidden treasures and stuff like that. But at the same time, I also like Rayman. It was just a fun game. It was a great game. Jack and Dexter, good mechanics, fun gameplay, cool world. There's so much I like about different games for different reasons that I can't definitively say, unlike the Pokemon one, what game has had the biggest impact on my life. If I had to go more modern, I would probably say Overwatch, just because I have met new friends online through it more than I have any other game. So that's I'll say that for now. For having introduced me to the most friends right now, Overwatch is the answer for which game has had the biggest impact on my life, because these are people that I wouldn't have met otherwise. All right, and then we have Henshin93. He is a YouTuber like me. He's a friend of mine, and I have him as like one of my featured links. So if you want to go check him out, he's done some toy reviews specifically on Power Rangers and Kamen Rider stuff, that kind of stuff. So if you know what that is, go check him out. But he asks what editing software I use. Again, a more technical question. I use Adobe Elements Premiere 15 video editor. That's just what I was able to get right now. I do want to get better versions. I know this is a decent version, but it's a good starting tool. But eventually, I want to get better versions. All right, and then the final person. This is the first person who commented, so that's why I saved him for last. And I'm actually going to read. He has actually multiple questions in here, so I'm going to read each one and then answer. So he asks very easily, "What's your favorite food?" My favorite food is actually lasagna. A nice meat-filled, cheesy lasagna. I haven't actually had it in a long time. You make me hungry thinking about it. But that's my favorite food. My favorite color, red. I love red. I've loved it since I was little. It's never changed. Favorite genre of games. And again, this one's a little harder, like which game made the biggest impact. I like a lot of different genres, but if I had to buckle down and choose one, it would probably be fantasy RPG. I like being able to just kind of make my own story in games a bit while having a over-encompassing story to play. I like being able to customize my character and make him do a certain way. I don't go as far as some people with it. Like they restrict him only to if you have a character like that's a thief, you only can use knives. I don't do that far, but I do, I want this character to be a certain way, so I'm going to put my stats into certain areas. Um, and what direction of games do you see this channel going? That's a little bit of a harder one to answer because part of it is I want to do games that have feedback from the viewers. You know, I want to play games that you guys will actually enjoy watching me play. I'm not going to play a game and go, it's whatever. I also want to play games that I can kind of do stuff with, have a little bit of fun with, like just yesterday's Hatoful Boyfriend. I did not expect to have so much fun just like freaking like reacting to that thing. And I wasn't playing up my reactions on that either. That was honest to God me just going, "What the?" I could not get past certain things in that game. It just broke my brain. So stuff like that, but also I want to play games that are like challenging or new, I want to play some old stuff. I always will. I always want to play some old stuff. But I want to play new stuff. Like I have some of the newer games that are now actually a little old, but I have them now. That'll be for tomorrow instead of Bloodborne. I'll be playing The Surge, which is supposed to be a game similar like that, but with like more of a sci-fi twist to it. So we'll try that out tomorrow and see how it goes. I also want to play more on the PC a bit more because I can edit those a lot better. PlayStation's pretty much always going to be live stream. Until I get a really nice setup separated and I can be, have a camera videotaping me instead of my PlayStation camera, record the information, record the video from the PlayStation onto a portable drive, take it to the PC and edit. But even then, I don't really want to. The PlayStation, I don't mind doing the live stream, sitting on my couch talking to you guys as much as I can, especially when we get a good conversation going with the comments. So basically, that's kind of what the direction of games is kind of up in the air wherever I need to take it for what I want to do. I'll play games that I constantly like. I'm not going to necessarily put myself through, a love simulator game, with the exception of Hatoful Boyfriend because it is so weird. Something that sparks my interest. Well, I will try. But I'm not going to just put up a generic love simulator game because I don't care for those games. If I'm going to go do a love simulator, I might as well go out there and start talking to real girls and, find myself a girlfriend, not just find a digital one. So yeah, but also I would like to bring it on an expansion to that question is the direction of what I want to do with this channel. And that's honestly, I want to be able to get, in a sense, big enough that I'm not trying to like make money off of it, but I want to get big enough where if I were to do a charity live stream or charity event, like some of the big YouTubers do, like Markiplier, them where they do a charity live stream and they bring in money for a charity because there's a lot of charities that I do believe in that need, and a lot of stuff that I'm personally either dealt with and stuff where I want to be able to help people that are less fortunate than I am with those situations, stuff like that. So I would love to be able to be big enough in a sense to do charity stuff. So that's kind of where my channel is going right now. I also would like to be able to do a little more work with different types of stuff, sketches and stuff like that, but I'm going to leave that in the background for now while I get more equipment and fix my life, fix where I live right now. So other than that, though, that's all the questions I have for today. If you guys like this one, please leave me some likes on it, because I want to see if this is actually like enjoyed by people. If it is, then I will definitely do another one. This might become maybe a once a month thing or once every 2 months or something like that, where I ask for questions and then a week later I answer them. But other than that, thank you all very much for watching. I hope you liked it. I hope you want to subscribe. I got a couple more subscriptions the other day from Hatoful Boyfriend, so thank you to those guys that joined. I am still going to do it. If I hit 50 subscribers, I will play a horror game. The game right now is The Evil Within just because that's what I have. I haven't ever played it. I have never, even reacted to it before, so it'd be interesting to see. However, I would gladly take suggestions for that horror game when I hit 50. If I get closer to when I hit like 45, 46, 47, I might go, okay, guys, send me requests for games. So other than that, though, thank you all very much for watching, and have a good night and good morning wherever you are.